Hello, hello, hello. I'm finally getting the hang of lockdown. The idea of not trying to go crazy and do too many things, but to enjoy the things that I am doing. And something that I used to do a lot of is candle making. And I haven't made any for about 3 years, so I thought I'd give it a go and share with you guys how to do it. Here's one I made earlier. I've also got wax melts that I've made, which are really, really easy to do. Pillar candles as well, which just requires a different wax. So if you would like to get involved, it's something that you can also do with the kids. And as if by magic, I have one here. So we made some yesterday. We're going to make a few more today, and it's very, very simple and easy to do. All you need is some wax. Now, essentially, you could melt down crayons if that's all you've got in the house, but that will probably, yeah, really, that would probably, they're most definitely paraffin based, so you're going to get a slightly more toxic wax. I've got soy wax. Now, I did manage to buy this while we were on lockdown. Not an essential item, but I did manage to get some. And look at this. It's beautiful, beautiful.
And
little
it's really
flakes.
soft.
Super soft. Does it smell good?
Yeah.
It smells really good. And this is 100% vegetable based, so it's natural. When you burn your candle, when you've got a soy candle, you won't get any blackening of the jar around the edge, and you don't get any nasty toxins that go into the air. You can even use it, rub it on your skin, and it feels lovely. So you need your wax. You'll need a jar. I haven't got any specific jars at the moment. I've got some old jam jars, so I'm using those. As long as the rim is big enough around the edge, then it's easy enough as long as the oxygen can get in to burn it. You need some wick. I've got pre-waxed wicks that I'm using. If you haven't got any, however, you could use essentially some cotton, as long as you dip it in the wax when it's melted and let it dry, so that it is a waxed wick is what you need. So you need one of those. You may want some essential oils to put into your candles as well. Just check that they are safe enough to use with your candles. And you need a double boiler, which is essentially a saucepan, with water in and a jug. And it's as simple as this. You need to weigh out 250 grams thereabouts for a jar of this sort of size of your wax. And then you simply melt the wax using the double boiler. Here it goes. So I've measured out in here. I've actually gone for 300 grams of wax. That's all in here, and I'm now going to pop that inside my saucepan, which has got water in here, double boiler, white gas, and I'm just going to let that melt, which will take probably 10 minutes. Let's find out. How's it going, Molly?
It's going good. It's almost finished.
And how long's that been that we've been melting the wax for?
It's been about 5 minutes.
Okay, so it doesn't take long, does it?
No.
It's been about 5 minutes and the wax is pretty much melted. If you want to add colour, you can do. I use a natural wax colour occasionally to colour mine, but today I'm going to use coconut fragrance, so I want that to be white and nice and crisp. Is that melted now, Molly?
Yeah, done.
There we go. Simply remove it from the boiler, and now you need to let it cool to a temperature of 140 degrees. So I've got a thermometer here. We'll stick that in the top. It doesn't take long, so don't go away and do too many different things. Wait for that to cool down. It's currently at 175 degrees. So once that melts, that comes down to around about 140, 150 degrees, you can add your fragrance and then you're ready to pour. Now, while that's cooling, my wick needs to be attached into the bottom of the jar. All I do is, this is the wick holder on the bottom, and I just dip it into my wax and let the wax act as a glue and stick that onto the bottom of the jar. I'll just hold it in place for a couple of seconds so that that then stays. If you want to, you can use a bamboo stick, which is what I use to stir the wax as it's melting, and just hold it in place for a minute, and that's pretty much done. Then what you will want to do is use, again, a bamboo stick, or you can even use a pen or whatever, but once you pour your candle, you'll need to stabilise your wick so that it stays in the centre of the jar and then it burns evenly. So all we're going to do now is wait. It's already down to 160 degrees and we're nearly there.
Yeah.
So the temperature's coming down. Hungry? Have a snack while it's cooling down. Temperature's coming down now to almost 140 degrees and I've got my fragrance ready to pour in. Now I use a quantity of 10% fragrance to the grams of wax. So I did around about 300 grams of wax and I've got just around about 30 mils of fragrance here, coconut fragrance essential oils. The reason you don't want to pour it in when it's too hot is because it will scorch the fragrance and then you won't get a nice scent at all when you burn your candle. How do I know all of this? Well, I'm a bit of a hobbyist, but also I did have a business making candles a couple of years ago, selling them in the artisan markets in Nice, and great idea for a business. I just didn't have time to keep it all up. Right, pop the fragrance in there and I'll give it a stir. Have a look in there. I don't know if you can see in there. It's a bit difficult to show you. You'll see it as we pour. And now we are simply ready to pour the candle. Now, I try and do a single pour because I prefer it, but it's all about getting that pour not too fast, not too slow, and try and pour either close to the wick in the middle as you can, or if you struggle with that, pour it down to the edge of the glass as if you're going to pour a beer. Not that I pour those very often. So we'll pop that in there, and then it will take 48 hours to completely harden before you can burn the candle, before you can actually test your candle making skills. It will be solid within a couple of hours, but it won't be completely set, so it just needs to really set itself perfectly before you can burn it. That coconut smells amazing, doesn't it, Molly?
Yep, I can smell it from where I am.
It's like smells of holidays. Oh, what a dream, being able to go anywhere.
But we can't go anywhere, so.
No, that's okay. We can have fun at home creating and crafting.
Yeah.
There we go. So my candle is poured, and all I need to do is let that settle. In fact, my wick's come away a little bit. Just need to let that settle over the next 48 hours. I'm going to straighten up my wick back in place. That's because I picked it up to show you what I was doing. And then it will look, in a couple of days' time, like this one, ready to burn.
Yeah,
Enjoy your candle making.
This one's not yellow.
No, it's not yellow, but it will be a different colour, but it will still look a little bit like that one. Never clogs. Enjoy your candle making, guys, and tune in to Isolation TV for some more cool clips of sport and of cooking and of crafting and maybe even some stories for the kids. Enjoy! See you soon!
Bye!